2031 and 2033, and first-round swaps in 2028 and 2030, sources telling ESPN's Shams Charania. Kessler will sign a massive 4-year, $130 million deal with the Lakers. Wendy, we were just talking about how restricted free agents don't usually sign offer sheets with new teams. First time that's happened since Bogdan Bogdanovic in 2020. Your reaction to this news?
This is a very significant development and a home run for the Lakers, because even though it cost them these 2 first-round picks, getting Walker Kessler is exactly the type of player that they needed to put alongside and behind Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic. And you say massive. If that contract number is accurate, that's not too bad. That is not anywhere near a max contract. That is about, unless my math is wrong here, I'm just going to check it to make sure that I'm not crazy. $32.5 million is a reasonable number for Walker Kessler. That is not, as I'm reacting in real time here, I do not see that as an overpay. Like, if you'd had to give him $45 million in an offer sheet, that's very interesting. It also gives the Jazz some ammunition to go out and do some other things that we'll talk about later. This is what the Lakers needed so bad. They had to come out of this offseason with a center, and they've done so. This is arguably one of the best, they've coveted him for a year. They've wanted this guy. They've tried to trade for him multiple times before. They've targeted him. This is absolutely smacking it. Now, he's coming off a year where he missed a whole year with injury, had to have shoulder surgery, but big body, 7'2", rim rolling threat, defend the rim. Absolutely love this move for the Lakers, and I'm not devastated by the price, either in dollars or I know the picks are going to hurt a little bit, but feel pretty good. And the Lakers will still have the salary cap space to make a couple more signings. Big step forward for LA here.
Yeah, it signals a number of things for me. One, I said hope is not a strategy. Apparently the Lakers had a little bit more than hope, right? But $32.5 million for a player who lob threat, defensive center, somebody that can play alongside Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, huge. As long as he is past this torn labrum situation that limited him to 5 games this season, yeah, the draft picks are going to hurt. Subsequently, this also takes a potential suitor away from Jalen Duren in free agency of a player who you're going to have to sign a max contract offer sheet to. And it sets a market of $32.5 million for what a going rate for what the center market could look like. Sure. So this could be a domino effect, but it also shows you that is one of the main things that the Lakers needed. They needed to go get a rim-running center who could also defend. Big critical signing.
Wendy, get back in here. I see your hand.
You break in. I have a more complete understanding. And 2 first-round pick swaps in 28 and 30. Okay. Now I'm processing this a little bit more differently.
It's going to hurt.
I still like it. I still like it for the Lakers. Big time price. So that basically the Lakers have trading their entire draft control from 28, well, not their entire, but 28, 30, 31, and 33. So let me just, and I apologize, I'm just reacting.
I am still trying to wrap my head around this massive deal that just went down between the Lakers and the Jazz. The Lakers have acquired Walker Kessler from the Jazz in a blockbuster deal that includes a 4-year, $130 million contract extension for Kessler. I have to say, I am impressed by the Lakers front office for pulling off this deal. They have been trying to trade for Kessler for a while now, and they finally got their man. As I was listening to the news, I couldn't help but think about how this deal is going to impact the Lakers roster. They have been searching for a center who can play alongside Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, and Kessler fits the bill perfectly. He is a big body, 7'2" rim rolling threat who can defend the rim and provide a presence in the paint. I think this is a huge upgrade for the Lakers, and it's exactly what they needed to take their team to the next level. But, as with any big deal, there are always questions and concerns. One of the biggest concerns is the price that the Lakers paid to get Kessler. They gave up 2 first-round picks, which is a steep price to pay for any player. However, I think the Lakers felt that Kessler was worth it, and they were willing to mortgage their future to get him. I have to ask, was it worth it? Only time will tell, but I think the Lakers are hoping that Kessler will be a key piece in their championship puzzle. As I was listening to the analysis, I heard that the Jazz are getting 2 first-round picks in 2028 and 2030, as well as first-round swaps in 2031 and 2033. That's a lot of draft capital, and it's clear that the Jazz are looking to rebuild their team. But, I have to ask, what does this mean for the Lakers? They have essentially given up control of their draft picks for the next few years, which could limit their ability to make moves in the future. I think the Lakers are hoping that Kessler will be a cornerstone of their team for years to come, and that he will be worth the price they paid to get him. But, what if he doesn't live up to expectations? What if he gets injured or doesn't mesh with the rest of the team? These are all questions that the Lakers will have to answer in the coming months and years. As I was thinking about this deal, I couldn't help but think about the impact it will have on the rest of the league. The Lakers are clearly all in on this season, and they are hoping to make a deep run in the playoffs. But, what about the other teams in the league? How will they respond to this deal? Will they try to make moves to keep up with the Lakers, or will they take a step back and reevaluate their own rosters? I think this deal is a game changer for the Lakers, and it's exactly what they needed to take their team to the next level. But, it's also a risky move, and there are no guarantees that it will pay off. I have to ask, what's next for the Lakers? Will they make more moves to shore up their roster, or will they stand pat and hope that Kessler is the final piece of the puzzle? As I was listening to the reaction from around the league, I heard that the Lakers are still looking to make more moves to improve their roster. They have been linked to several other players, and it's clear that they are not done yet. I think this is a good thing, because the Lakers need to surround Kessler with more talent if they want to make a deep run in the playoffs. But, what about the Jazz? How will they respond to this deal? They have essentially traded away their best player, and they are looking to rebuild their team. I think this is a smart move, because the Jazz were not going anywhere with Kessler on their roster. They needed to shake things up and start fresh, and this deal gives them the opportunity to do just that. As I was thinking about this deal, I couldn't help but think about the bigger picture. What does this mean for the NBA as a whole? Is this a sign that the league is trending towards more superstar-driven teams, or is it just a one-off deal? I think this deal is a sign that the league is becoming more and more competitive, and that teams are willing to do whatever it takes to win. I have to ask, what's next for the NBA? Will we see more deals like this in the future, or will teams start to take a more cautious approach? I think this deal is a sign that the league is in for a wild ride, and that anything can happen. I'm excited to see how it all plays out, and I think this deal is just the beginning of a crazy offseason. As I was wrapping up my thoughts on this deal, I couldn't help but think about the Lakers front office. They have been under a lot of pressure to make a move, and they finally did it. I think this deal is a sign that they are committed to winning, and that they are willing to do whatever it takes to bring a championship to Los Angeles. But, what about the risks? What if Kessler gets injured or doesn't live up to expectations? What if the Lakers roster doesn't mesh well together? These are all questions that the Lakers will have to answer in the coming months and years. I think this deal is a risk, but I also think it's a risk worth taking. The Lakers need to be aggressive if they want to win, and this deal shows that they are willing to do just that. As I was finishing up my thoughts on this deal, I couldn't help but think about the fans. What do they think about this deal? Are they excited, or are they nervous? I think the fans are probably a mix of both, because this deal is a risk. But, I also think that the fans are excited to see what Kessler can do, and they are hoping that he will be the final piece of the puzzle. I have to ask, what's next for the Lakers? Will they make more moves to shore up their roster, or will they stand pat and hope that Kessler is the final piece of the puzzle? I think this deal is just the beginning of a wild ride, and I'm excited to see how it all plays out. The Lakers have made a statement, and now it's up to them to back it up. They can do it, but only time will tell.